So it's Friday night on stage right of the online WOMEX 2020 showcases. We begin with an intimate home concert from cellist and vocalist extraordinaire Carla Maza. Born in Cuba, the daughter of Chilean pianist and composer Carlos Maza and Cuban guitarist Mirza Sierra. She started learning cello at the age of 8. The family moved to Spain in 2007, where, still a teenager, she toured as a soloist with the Mediterranean Symphony Orchestra. She performed across Europe with her father. She moved to Paris in 2012 to study at the Sorbonne Conservatory. Her solo career blossomed into collaborations with cello maestro Vincent Segal, rock star Jean-Louis Aubert, and commissions for film soundtracks, and to date 2 great solo albums. Here she is, Carla Maza.
Se perdió una flor que intentaba cambiar su aroma. Se voló un papel que soñaba con ser poema, mas una sensible melodía, conmovida por ti, se posó y me encendió como una velita en busca de otra luz, cual razón a tu despedida. Nora pa 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 para pa 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 oír orar. Lara pa 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 ara pa 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 oír orar. Más una sensible melodía, conmovida por ti, se posó y me encendió como una velita en busca de otra luz, cual razón a tu despedida. tus poesías. No importa qué horas sean, ni cuántas noches quedan, yo solo quiero un poco más de ti. ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? ¿Dónde estás? Contigo me voy hasta el fin, ya y contigo me voy hasta el fin. Tantos libros traes, tantos, que ya no queda espacio en este chico cuarto para otra cosa que no sea vivir con amor y poesía, con amor y poesía. Contigo me voy hasta el fin, y contigo me voy hasta el fin, y contigo me voy hasta el fin, y contigo me voy hasta el fin. Meses y medio y te me fuiste entero. Ya no quedan rastros de ti, solo recuerdos. Si todo fuera más simple, no hubiéramos nacido. Y yo no te hubiera querido con mala y sed. Ay, qué tortura esta. tienes sin dormir y no me quedan fuerzas para no pensar en ti. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la. Dime que volverás, dime que volverás, dime que volverás, dime que volverás. Bra pa pa bra pa, bra pa bra da pa bra, da para pa pi, para pa bra pi de, bra pa peo, para pa bra, da da donde, bra para pa te, da pa pre de opa. Si le monde était plus simple, nous ne serions jamais nés. Et moi je ne t'aurais pas aimé comme je l'ai fait. Les fleurs du jardin m'ont séché, le printemps nous a quittés. Le soleil est caché dans mon sac, reviens, je t'attends. Ay, qué tortura esta, me tienes sin dormir y no me quedan fuerzas para no pensar en ti. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Dime que volverás, dime que volverás, dime que volverás, dime que volverás. Dime que volverás, dime que volverás.
Hello everyone, I'm originally from Poland. I'm a journalist and I have a big pleasure to talk with a great artist, Carla Maza. Hello.
Hello, thank you very much for the invitation. I would really love to play the showcase in a human way, in a very presential, to meet you all personally and to play for you all. But sadly, it's not possible, and we must do like a showcase digital and this interview digital. But I hope meet you soon and have the time to talk another time.
So we have really, really rich background, cultural and musical also.
Exactly.
Really.
It's very rich because with my family, I went to stage the first time at 10 years old. My father invited me, and since this time I have been always on stage. Then my first album CD was at 13 years old, and after every year making new albums with my family, traveling around the world, in Europe, meeting new musicians, new cultures, and I think that I like to reflect that on my cello and my music. I am in love with traveling and with the new culture, so I think that we can hear that sometimes in my music.
Yeah. What is important, I think, your Cuban roots and also heritage of South America. It's really important in your art in general. Yeah.
Yes, with this new album, La Flor, I wanted to portray Latin America as I live it with my cello. In my home, when I was a child, always we were listening to Gilberto Gil, Caetano Veloso, Violeta Parra, Dito Jara, a lot of musicians, great musicians that influenced my music. And for me, it's important because in this album, for example, and in my concert, solo acoustic concert in only cello and voice, I always tell my public that I invite you all to an imaginary travel to Latin America, because every song is inspired in a different rhythm from Latin America.
Wow.
For example, you can have a bossa nova maracatu from Brazil, you have a reggae from Jamaica, you have a son cubano from Cuba, and it's like be in an imaginary travel with my cello, and I love that.
Mm-hmm. And have you been looking this your musical path for a long time?
Is something very natural for me because my father played jazz with Latin American music. My father is composer. In my house, every day we play music, and every day there is no day we don't play music together. And or my sister play and my mother, every day is music. So for us, it's natural way to be connected with music, and for me it was naturally to make jazz with Latin American music and with the cello, that is a classical instrument, to play with classical technicals, that I play with the bow or the pizzicato, some mix. I like that because for me, I have no borders. There's no frontiers.
Yeah, this is really important that your music cross over all borders, actually. It's hard to name it also.
Yes.
Everything.
Everything that I feel and that I love. Because if I have some feeling for a kind of music, I will try to do it with my cello, to take it, and I will try to play with my cello. Some years ago, I was in Paris in an artistic residence. Then I meet people from Arabic world, and I was in love with a flute, very nice flute that is called a very traditional flute, a naim. And then I started to imitate with the cello this flute, and it's like this that I like to feel the music.
So to be a musician was actually obvious for you from the beginning? Or not really?
Yes, it's something that you feel. There is no question, actually. It's a lot of work every day, and you are like convinced that something is strong with you, with what you feel and with your instrument. And it's this feeling of hope in life, hope that everything is going on the good way, that hope to try a better world for me, and to be together and connected with the people that you love, with the people that support you. And that's for me is music, is this way to live the life. Yes.
Mm-hmm. You said you studied at classical academy. Have you ever think about being a classical cellist, or never ever?
When I was 13 and 14, when I came to Europe with my family, it was actually to learn the classical way to play cello, the very, very strong and very studying very hard the cello. And then I started to have a very good visions and studying a lot. And then I did a tour like solist with orchestra, symphonic orchestra. And I was playing the big concertos, classical for cello, like Saint-Saëns concerto or Tchaikovsky, and play on the stage, very young. But then I said to myself, okay, that's great, but I feel that I would like to go more and not only play the classical concerto for cello. I would like to compose my own music, and I would like to feel my music on the way I live. So then I continue the other way with the jazz and Latin American roots.
Yeah, and share yourself, not only the notes.
Exactly. And then there's a story, because my teachers, I have a very good teacher in Paris, Hélène Dupri. I love this great artist, a woman, cellist woman. And she was always in lessons with me, because when I play a concerto, classical concerto, she always says, Ana Carla, but it's not Ana Carla music, it's Tchaikovsky music. Please play only the notes you must play, don't put more notes, no?
Mm-hmm.
So
But
sometimes.
which is typical of a classical virtuosos, you play solo. You are a soloist. You recorded 2 solo albums. So why you choose this solo career? You don't like to share the stage with any other artist, or you need just your own space to express just yourself?
Well, actually now, this album, La Flor, is in solo, but last week we had the premiere of a new project in trio with my pianist and percussionist batter drums. It's called Bahia. Bahia is actually with new compositions, more instrumentally and more improvisation with other instruments. These are trio, and for the next year I am preparing a sextet with instrument of quiver. Exactly. I don't think so. I think that this is a very, very nice word, the solo acoustic, because it's something very intimate, you know, very personal, but also very strong, because you can connect with the people. Exactly. It's very strong, this solo, only cello and voice. And sometimes I feel like it's like a travel that you start sometimes this mystic, then there's explosive, then there's come down, there's go and again. It's like something, a lot of sensations. But I love to play with other musicians, and I usually play with other musicians, and so next projects are with more musicians.
Mm-hmm. I love your expression when you are talking about music.
Thank you.
So besides of pandemic time, it seems that you are really, really busy.
Well, actually, it was a shock for me when everything started with this pandemic, because I had a tour, concerts. We must go to Mexico, but 1 week before we go to Mexico, they canceled. They stopped the frontiers. It was not possible, and everything suddenly was like nothing, and it was a shock. And also to watch and to see other people like technicians, musicians, programadores, producers that were without work suddenly like this. So it was a strong and very difficult moment for everybody. But for me also, it was a moment to be able to create new music and to start to continue to be connected with the people that I love, to be connected by distance, by video. I did live concerts by Facebook. I did a lot of things. We record the different videos from this pandemic time, and I was actually pretty busy connecting and making new music, and it was really nice for this time. But for WOMEX, I am really sad to not be there, because for me, WOMEX is a place, magic place, where you can really meet with the people personally, and you can meet people from all around the world, people who have different cultures, different ways to think, different experience, and then they can discover you, you can discover them, you can match together. And that's for me something that is very, very important in life. Because in music, if you want to do music, you must meet the musicians, you must meet them, and you must start playing in the same place together.
Yes,
but
right.
For next year.
Yeah, it's a pity, but we are looking for your concert, digital concert, unfortunately, but finger crossed. I hope it will be good experience, and I'm really hope to see you somewhere in Poland. here in my country also, because your music is amazing. So hopefully see you soon somewhere, and thank you for this meeting.
Thank you very much. See you very soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Worlds meet and vibrate in harmony in this acclaimed trio. Singer, songwriter, guitarist and nickel harper player James Yorkston is a leading figure on the Scottish folk scene. Double bassist John Thorne has worked with a broad range of artists in the jazz and other genres, from Trilok Gurtu to electronica pioneers Lamb. And Suhai Yusuf Khan is a multi-award winning 7th generation sarangi player and classical and Sufi singer from New Delhi. Together they playfully react to and improvise on one another's music, creating quite a unique sound. Yorkston, Thorne and Khan.
भूल रही सरसों सकल बन अम्बवा मोरे तेसु फूले और कोयल बोले डार डार गोरी करे निजा मुद्दी के दर पे पीर निजा मुद्दी के दर पे बाबा निजा मुद्दी के दर पे ख्वाजा निजा निखाजा मोरे ख्वाजा निजा मुद्दी के दर पे पीर निजा बाबा निजा मुद्दी के दर पे ख्वाजा निजारे नी पानी मा पादानी दा पारे पा के दिल्ली बनी दुल्हन और दूल्हा निजामुद्दीन सारे हिंद के वली मोरे ख्वाजा मोइनुद्दीन ख्वाजा निजामुद्दी के दर पे पीर निजा बाबा निजा ख्वाजा निजा पीर निजामुद्दी हक निजामुद्दी बाबा निजामुद्दी के दर पे हमारे पीर अवन कह गए आशिक रंग और बीत गए बरसों फूल रही सरसों
A westland wind and slaughtering gun brings autumn's pleasant weather. The mock-cock springs unwearing wind amongst the blooming heather. And waving green whilst over the plain delights the weary farmer. And the moon shines bright as a robe at night to muse upon my charmer.
Hey, hello, James. How are you?
Hello, I'm okay. How are you? You all right?
Fine, yes. Well, first of all, welcome to this interview.
Thank you very much.
James Yorkston, singer-songwriter from Scotland. And you play guitar and nickel harpa.
Yeah.
And you are part of the trio Yorkston, Thorne, and Khat.
That's correct. Yeah.
So I saw that you released your third album in January.
Yes.
And you're supposed to have a tour to present your album. And then the thing happened.
Yeah, the thing happened. Yeah. Well, we had to cancel the tour midway through. The UK government weren't being particularly good, and they were sending very mixed signals. But we decided it was the best thing for us to do would be to cancel cancel the tour. So we've missed a lot of shows this year, but I think it's the same with everyone. The worst one with us was we have missed a very nice looking tour of the United States, our first tour of the United States. So that was a great shame to miss that. But yeah, all sorts of things. But hey, everyone's missing things, you know.
True. But so how do you keep in touch with your fan base?
Our fan base. Well, I have Twitter and I have Facebook, and we send out newsletters as well. But I also do a weekly podcast called 4630. And myself and John and Sahel, we keep in touch the whole time because I consider them my second family. John Thorne from Yorkston Thorne Khan and Sahel Yusuf Khan, of course. So we are always exchanging ideas through WhatsApp and things like that, and trying to come up with ideas for the next record. So when we are finally allowed to tour again, we will be doing something new and fresh. I hope. But then with Yorkston Thorne Khan, it's the chemistry which makes it special. And for the chemistry, we have to be in the room together, I think.
Yes, indeed. So now you're just meeting each other by video and not really coming together.
No, we're not really getting together anymore, of course, because Sahel is either in India or North America. I'm halfway up Scotland, and John Thorne is on the Isle of Wight, which is at the very foot of England. So I couldn't even see John if I wanted to, let alone Sahel. I'd rather see Sahel, to be honest. He's more fun.
Okay. And yeah, I was wondering, just musically wise, you play the nyckelharpa, but
Yes, I do, yeah.
and Sahel Khan, he plays the sarangi. Do you ever play together?
Yes, we do, yeah. But it's Sahel he has been learning sarangi since the age of 2. His grandfather was Ustad Sabri Khan, who is one of the big names of Indian classical music, especially when it comes to sarangi playing. So Sahel is a master at the sarangi and also at the Sufi singing. He's 8th generation sarangi player. Whereas me on the nyckelharpa, I am not a master. I provide a very different thing. I use it to provide a bed for what Sahel and John play on top. So with the nyckelharpa, I'm playing chords and textures and emotions underneath the sarangi's main melody line. So often I compose those parts, I compose the basses, and then Sahel and John play on top, you know. So, or the other way around, one of them will compose and I'll play underneath. But I ain't no nyckelharpa player. I'm a nyckelharpa owner, and I think there's a big difference.
You're very modest. But I can understand with Sahel next to you that master sarangi player.
But part of being a musician is knowing when to play and knowing when not to play. So although my skills with the nyckelharpa are very basic, that's all I play. I just play very basic things to accompany John and Sahel. My main skill is as a guitar player because I've been playing that a long time, and I'm okay on the guitar.
And what did you learn from this period of time?
From the lockdown?
Yes.
For me, the best part has been, as a touring musician, as a professional musician, I'm away a lot from home. And the best part for me has been being at home with my family. So I've got to see a lot of my children, which is wonderful. And in a way, that has been a gift. We live right on the coast, so we're on the beach every day, and then there are but listen, it's not a tourist beach. It's not a beach where people sunbathe and we don't get full of tourists. There are beaches like that close by, but the beach we go to, it is only rocks and a little bit of sand. And because of that, every day it changes. So every day there's new things brought up with every tide. So it's a great place to explore with my children. So that has been the best thing for me. Being at home has been a very valuable thing. But of course, the worst thing is no gigs, no money. So it's very tricky. It's very tricky. But I try and take the positives.
Yeah, and how do you deal with that?
I try and write as well. I've been trying to write. So when we come out at the end, if this COVID ends and we're allowed to tour again, then, as I say, hopefully we will have fresh material and we'll be in a good place musically. So I am trying to keep prepared just in case we can do it again at some point in our lives.
Yeah, sure. Yes, of course. So, that's good to be at the WOMEX. So at least you can expose your music.
We were very much looking forward to WOMEX. It is it is a great shame that we have missed the physical festival itself, because one of the best things about Yorkston Thorne with my solo music as James Yorkston, I play solo as well. And I tour and I play at the festivals, but the festivals tend to be just straightforward indie guitar festivals. So I'll be playing with lots of people making kind of pop songs, la 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 la, and that's great, and I love it, and a lot of my friends are there. But with Yorkston Thorne, we tend to play the more traditional and folk festivals, or the world music festivals, people call them. And that has been great for me, seeing all sorts of acts that I love. So, for example, we played with Orchestra Baobab, and we played with Umu Sangare, and we've played with... So Yorkston Thorne has been a great thing for me, going around place to place. And that's why we were really missing WOMEX, because we thought WOMEX was going to be a lot of fun, really a lot of fun.
Yes. Was this also the way how you and Sahel met at such a festival, or?
Yeah, we met backstage at a festival in Edinburgh. And I was just with me and my acoustic guitar, and Suhail came in with his sarangi, and he said, "Can I come into your dressing room?" And I said, "Yeah, of course, come in." And I saw he had an instrument on his back, and I said, "Oh, are you playing? What are you playing?" And he said, I am playing the sarangi. Do you know what that is?" And I said, yeah, of course, but I didn't know what it was. I didn't know at all. And I was playing guitar. I was playing just some traditional songs. I love Dick Gaughan and Martin Carthy and Nick Jones and all these players. So I was just playing some tunes on my guitar, maybe singing a little. And Suhail just took his sarangi out and started playing with me, and it just sounded so good. I was... So I said to him, "Will you play with me this evening on stage?" And he said, "Oh, but I don't know your songs." And I said, "If I only play traditional songs which stay in one key, and then at the beginning of each song, I'll play the introductory melody so you can hear what it is, and then I'll start to sing, and you just come in when you feel happy to come in." And he said, "Yeah, okay." So we played that first show, and we didn't know each other at all. But it was such a fun show that we said, whenever we get together again, whenever he is in the country, because he was living in India at the time, we will try and do music together. And that's how we met.
That's so nice. Yeah, so that's why it's such a shame you cannot meet the musicians at WOMEX, because it's
Yeah, and it's also seeing the musicians. I remember we played at Rudolstadt a couple of years ago, and that was such an incredible festival. I mean, and Glastonbury, of course, has been very good for us, and Green Man Festival. But Celtic Connections this year was amazing, and this year again we were booked into the Orkney Folk Festival in Orkney in Scotland. But yeah, it's a real shame to lose these shows, but we have to be optimistic that that they will happen again in the future.
Yes, I'm sure they will.
Whilst we are still alive.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Well, thank you so much. And oh no, one last question. I saw in a little interview that you say that making music with the three of you is so good because you just can be together. Is this now more meaningful than ever?
Yeah, I think it will be more meaningful than ever. I think when people come out of lockdown, everyone, but musicians, especially in this context, I think they will love doing the gigs. I think they will love being together on stage and love sharing that time with the audience. I had a time in my life where one of my children was very ill, and I had to lose 2 years of playing live because they were ill, and I had to be in the hospital with them. And when I came out of that 2-year time, I embraced absolutely every piece of music I could do, every spare bit of time, every concert. Even if there wasn't many people there or if the sound wasn't good, I just went in and I really tried to be as positive as I could because I knew what the opposite was, which was not playing music at all. And I suspect that once COVID is over, all other musicians will feel the same. You know, they will just be delighted to be out there playing, and the audience will be delighted to be there watching the shows. So, fingers crossed.
Yes. All right. Thank you very much, James. I wish you all the best.
It creaks and it rattles, the screws are loose, but it holds together and it moves magnificently. It's the sound of Khat, an international deconstruction squad from Tel Aviv, led by Eyal El-Wahab, a son of the Yemeni Jewish diaspora, on a mission to recover his roots. He found his epiphanous mojo in a collection of Yemeni folk and pop records of the 60s, sparking a bout of instrument building from bits of wood, saucepans, wire and rope, and the formation of his band with 3 friends from Polish, Iraqi and Moroccan backgrounds, adding trumpet, guitar, disco keyboards and hybrid jazz junk percussion to his vocals and slippery homemade bass playing. As undulatingly stimulating as the eponymous plant, so I'm told, Khat mixed trash and tradition in a timely urban reclamation of a disenfranchised culture. Khat.
Hello there, WOMEX audience and delegates. Great to be with you today. Welcome to the Yellow Submarine, the place for music in Jerusalem, Israel, home of the Israeli Showcase Festival. We are very honored to be part of your digital conference this year, the WOMEX 2020. And we are very happy to be here with Eyal and Ibi from El Khat, El Khat, El Jat, El Gat. What is El Khat?
Gat is a leaf that grows. It's very common in Yemen. Eyal will know to tell better about it.
No, you say.
It's very common in Yemen to chew it.
Okay.
And it's a upper.
You like to chew gut?
Yes.
We actually nowadays we take it, we chop it, and we make juice out of it.
Okay.
So we make it a little bit more available for modern people. You know.
Okay. So you drink it, you don't chew it.
Nowadays, yeah.
Okay.
Actually, what we do in El Khat, Eyal takes old Yemen songs, mostly Muslim songs, which is different from many Israeli Yemen bands that play mostly Jewish Yemen music. So we take Muslim Yemen music and we make it modern.
All
so
right.
The other two band members play percussion and electric guitar. There's a special set of percussion containing a lot of junk, actually, which relates to Yemen tradition, where
I'm not sure it's a tradition. I think it's just the poverty. No.
The poverty?
Yes.
It's not because it was not allowed to make music?
That too.
Yeah.
That reason, and also that they don't have just the resources, you know.
Related to tradition and poverty. So Eyal is bringing all the material and is the essence of the band, actually.
And Eyal is not talking, right? He's,
I'm listening. I want to see all these years, you know, how much we catch up with.
Eyal is the
page.
inspiration. He's like Buddha, right? He sits here and...
I wouldn't say Buddha, but... but he's the band leader, and usually musically I like to bring ideas, but he's the producer and everything, and
all right.
he's bringing the...
And
he's just shy.
That's all. Just shy. Who is Saadia Jefferson? Eyal.
It's actually nobody, I guess. Or it's me, or maybe not.
Your alter ego.
I don't know. It's I don't know if I should say, actually, because I wanted to keep it as a secret. It's the name of the album. Saadia is a very a common Yemeni name, and it's also the name of my grandfather. And Jefferson is a subway station in New York, in Brooklyn. And I had some period of time that I lived there in New York, near that station. And I felt like the only Yemeni person in this neighborhood. And it was in the same period where we were making the album. Somehow it came together and it made such a natural sense, you know, to put those two names together. As an Israeli, very much infected from the Western culture, like, you know, Israel is... Okay, I don't know, I shouldn't open this too much. But it's like, it feels very American in a way, and I wanted to bring the truth and the tradition and my culture into this, to combine this, a real person, like...
You brought an instrument with you, right? That you built.
You can call it an instrument, yeah. Okay. All right, so this is it's yellow,
Yeah.
and it's the piece of timber is like I guess it was belonged to some sort of like a TV station, a TV. So more or less is.
All right. Now we cannot go home without a question about these crazy times, the Corona times.
Right.
How do you guys manage with this last 7 months already?
Right.
What do you do? What is your how does it work for you? Do you still meeting and rehearsing and I don't know?
Yeah, all in all, it's been very hard. For me personally, I was playing 5 or 6 shows per week, and my life turned upside down. Yeah, but there's been some digital shows and some composing at home for websites and things like that. And as a band, we try to rehearse.
In the beginning, when there was the big shock about like everything stops, so I started working in a farm and just like getting into the agriculture business, you know, but as a volunteer. But anyway, I don't know. I just like try to concentrate in the music and composing, and it feels very much like a really, really big spiritual journey. It feels like everybody is going through the same thing, more or less. But the other guys of the band actually left to live in the desert. So one of them is like there for like 6 months already, and they're there. We are here.
Yeah, I was there too, harvesting dates.
Right.
Yeah, you look for other other things to do.
All right. Thank you very much. Anything you want to say to WOMEX fans, audience, something to take this opportunity when everybody's watching you?
Yeah, we had a pre-coronavirus times. We had a really busy spring and summer touring. We were supposed to have a very busy touring season, which was of course completely cancelled. And yeah, I hope we'll be optimistic and times will change and we can go back touring.
Yeah, let's hope.
Inshallah.
Let's hope, inshallah. Thank you very much. Peace and love.
Thank you.
Thank you, WOMEX. See you soon, live. Bye-bye.
Since 2009, Oratnitza have been busy reclaiming Bulgarian traditions from the Folklore Museum and taking them out onto the street again to meet the sounds of the local underground. They call their sound ethno-bass, mixing Bulgarian folk melodies and Orthodox style chanting, freely enhanced with influences from jazz, progressive rock, dubstep and trap, to pull the irregular rhythms of traditional dance styles onto the contemporary dance floor. Give it a try. Oratnitza.
doma na večera, dojdi libele, doma na večera, oh libele, doma na večera, libele, doma na večera, dojdi libele, doma na večera, dojdi libele, doma na večera, oh libele, doma na večera, libele, doma na večera. Libele, tebe spomenuva, mene gali libele, tebe spomenuva, oh libele, tebe spomenuva, libele, tebe spomenuva, mene gali libele, tebe spomenuva, mene gali libele, tebe spomenuva, oh libele, tebe spomenuva, libele, tebe spomenuva.
Dali belolice, nemam tama na minaj.
tenka snaga mome, bučva za turšija. Tvojta tenka snaga mome, bučva za turšija. Ne tija iska mome, ne tija saga. Ne tija iska mome, tešija za tebe. stăpiu dobri, n-aveau mermer cama, da si meri, siva gurguliță. Stăpiu dobri, n-aveau mermer cama, da si meri, siva gurguliță. Stăpiu dobri, n-aveau mermer cama, da si meri, siva gurguliță. Neumeri, siva gurguliță. N-ai-o-meri, cletoto si sărțe.
I'm connected to Oratnitza, a six-piece band from Bulgaria. It plays quite a lot of traditional instruments, including cajon, bagpipes, flutes, and a big wooden tube, probably a didgeridoo. Is it a didgeridoo?
Yeah, the instruments that I'm playing are didgeridoos. I'm playing two didgeridoos. The one is a slide didgeridoo, and the other one is a static, more traditional instrument.
But you're not Australian. Sorry, it's a Bulgarian band only, right?
Yeah, all of us are only Bulgarians.
Please tell us something about the history, how you came together. I read somewhere that you know each other from busking around 2010 or something.
Yeah, it's 2009. Actually, we met. We have met before, but at first we played 2009, and at first we were busking in different places in Bulgaria and also abroad, and then we decided to make live in a concert in a club. And it turned out to be really successful. So we made it again, and then we started making different events in the clubs. And then we continued on festivals and stuff like that. So until now.
That's an amazing thing that you use traditional instruments to perform in clubs for dancing. What is it? Is it a cultural program in a club, or it looks like something is getting confused here?
Well, it's not a traditional gigs in any way. It's more like a nightclub vibe.
I think that what attracts people is just the thing that you said. Like it's strange that you have this instrument in a club amplified by a microphone and with a lot of bass in it, and you hear this bass is like from a synthesizer, from like digital, but it comes out from this wood, and this is what is attractive.
The Bulgarian singing is something very special in your group, and of course worldwide known is the special sound of Bulgarian singers. Your singers are very good ones, and please tell a bit about it.
Well, our two singers, we met them like 5 years ago, and we decided that we need some members of the band that are more beautiful to put on stage.
Okay.
You can see them.
Everybody will agree, of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Now more people come to the concerts to see something beautiful.
But the Bulgarian singing, it also has a special character because of songs that come with the singing, or can you just use it like you want? Is it free to make arrangements for it without violating any traditional rules?
Well, we have the best combination having these singers with us, because they are really traditional. They know, they studied this, and they know how to sing in an authentic way, like the way that tradition has it. And and on the other hand, they are really open to participate in different modern styles and to improvise, because we have worked with different traditional singers, and not every singer can grasp what we want to do with them. So at first they were really shocked what we are doing and the way we do music, but then they liked it, and I hope so. Now this is the combination. If there is something authentic about our music, it's the singing of the girls.
Authentic or traditional, that is an interesting thing. Are you following a traditional lane? Do you try to be traditional so that, let's say, grannies in the village would say, oh, that's our old traditional music, and at the same time you include electronic sounds for a different audience? Is it a modern version of traditional music?
Yes, I think that's what it is. But we are not trying to keep it authentic. Actually, we try to interpret the melody. Like, we keep the melody the way it is, but the background and the arrangement behind the melody can be anything. Actually, before that, what we have as recordings of the old folklore music is also interpretation of composers who decided that this is the way that you should present the melody. So we just decided to present the melody in a different way, in more, not say modern, but the way we think it's more interesting.
Is it a reincarnation of traditional music?
It's really brave to say this, but for us it is. We can say that. And some of the grannies like it, some of them not.
If your neighbor would ask you, what are you doing? Yeah, if, let's say, he's a businessman, not a music person, what would you tell then? Well, you're musicians, of course, yeah, but what kind of music? You're not opera. You're not how to say a wedding band. What is it?
I often receive that question from different kinds of people. It's always hard to explain it. The music is something abstract for me. You should just listen it and feel it. It's difficult to explain it. Maybe I can try to say what kinds of instruments we're using, that we're mixing folklore with traditional instruments from other continents, but it's really hard to explain what you're feeling during listening to that music.
Where's your repertoire coming from, the songs?
Well, the songs, we actually, mainly the songs that we like about our folklore, that we don't choose them like from a certain book and let's take this and that. It's some of the songs that we know and some of the songs that we like. At first, when we started the band, we wanted to do drum and bass, so we needed some fast songs. And a lot of the fastest songs that we know in the folklore, they come from Western Bulgaria. For example, I play the kaval, and it comes from Eastern Bulgaria, where the songs are slower. So we decided we will do a slower beats under it. And we actually choose them the way that they provoke something in our imagination, how we can mix it with different beats that we like from the modern music.
Sorry. Watching your band on stage, it looks more like a rock band, very tough, very strong group. Is it like that? Are you kind of a, how to say, family, also private, you live together or something?
You mean the band, if we feel like a family?
Yeah.
Well, we have a lot of arguments, and we have big scandals.
So it's probably family, yeah.
Like family.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when we are on a stage, I feel like we are more like a gang, like because that's the feeling that we have.
Yeah, exactly.
With the sound and you know.
I want to imagine how you work. Would you rehearse every week, maybe many days, more than one day, or how does it happen? How is Oratnitza operating?
We are trying to do that, but also everybody plays in different projects, and we are together in different projects also instead of depends. So we meet each other kind of almost every week, let's say, or every day. It depends when we have more gigs and stuff. So basically we work together all the time.
We meet, but it doesn't mean that we rehearse. We just have time together.
Yeah.
Are you all professional musicians, or do you do other jobs besides to survive? And
some of us have jobs outside of the music, live music, or outside of Oratnitza. But basically everyone has a second emploi, should I say. For instance, our vocal is a priest by profession. Maybe only the singers are strictly and only singers.
Corona makes it all difficult for musicians to tour, to have concerts, to, well, everything, to meet, sometimes even to rehearse. How do you get along with the coronavirus?
Well, we actually were at first a bit shocked, like maybe everyone else, how to do it. Like we need to adapt to the new thing. At first, it was a bit like a crisis because a lot of our gigs and our dates in advance were cancelled. A lot of concerts, like a whole tour, was cancelled. But slowly, I think we got used to it. We made another song which we really like. So we found out that we could work from distance, and that we could pass on. Like the girls record something, they send it to me, I do something, and we arrange it from a distance. And after that, we could perform the new stuff. So I guess that even if it continues, we could do our music. So it's not that big of a crisis right now.
Well, yeah, I wish you a successful participation in WOMEX, and I think that's about it. That was the 10 minutes with Oratnitza, a band performing not performing, but virtually performing in a showcase festival of WOMEX 20. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was Friday on Stage Right. Before I exit Stage Right, I thank you for watching. There's more WOMEX coming tomorrow on Saturday. Yes, conferences start in the morning, Central European time. Films are available all day. Don't miss out on those. And we'll be back for a final Saturday night showcase fever tomorrow evening. Hope you will join us. Big love to you all. Until tomorrow. Goodbye.